Dad, in 1958.
Just 3 suits. Can you believe 3 suits? And now, Bill, what?
Wow. Dad, what have you accomplished?
I've always been a bit in awe of my grandfather. To this day, he's a visionary that just looks to the future, and every time he's looked at the very stages of our business evolution, he's always been looking to what's next, what's in the future.
I think the one thing that's said about my grandfather is he continues to be thankful for what we've done, and at the same time, we're the ones who really should be thankful to him for starting this whole thing.
Hi, I'm Ed Mitchell. How can I help you?
I can remember my dad, Ed Mitchell, sick. He was a sick man. He had ulcers. They had 5 or 6 operations. And then suddenly out of the blue, I get this call. I was a freshman at Wesleyan University. And I picked up the phone one day, and Dad said, we're coming up to Wesleyan. We're going to change my life. I'm going to open a small men's and boys store. I said, wow, Dad, that sounds like a great idea.
When my father decided to go into the retail business in 1958, I thought he was nuts. He was approximately, I think, 54 years of age, saying that he was going to step off the 525 one night from New York City and open a men's and boys retail store in Westport, Connecticut. I really thought he was nuts.
I can remember opening night in August of 1958 when we opened the store. You know, all of Mom and Dad's friends came.
It was a plumber's office, Dixon Plumbing. And they had a nice informal room with a pipe hanging across, and the clothes were hanging on the pipe.
We started with 3 suits, and word got out, and people came in, and there were friends. Also people we didn't know, which we made friends.
And we began with this small little store, 800 square feet. Our grandmother, Nanny, we called her, was our first seamstress tailor.
My mother was right by my dad's side from day one, working 6 days a week, meeting and greeting the customers, selling, reading stories to the kids. And by the way, even though I said I thought my father was nuts when he opened up the store, when I saw my mom do all this, she was a natural. I then knew this business was going to work.
I can remember Bill coming into the business in '65, and I came in 69. And Bill and I have been partners ever since, and we tried so hard to keep the principles that Mom and Dad shared with us of helping customers and treating customers and being close to them.
I watched Jack, who didn't start out in the retail business, finally ended up with us, how much he has contributed to the success of the business. Bill said, I'll try it for a few years. Of course, Bill never stopped. Bill has an ability to make people enjoy being with him, don't you think?
My father, for one thing, is one of my closest friends, and it's just a privilege to say that. My dad is a very warm, compassionate, loving, hardworking, highest of integrity, honest individual that I know. And he transformed all of those great adjectives into running this family business.
We came to this location in 1978. All our friends and our customers thought we were crazy. This was a rock pile in 1978. And then all those wonderful corporations moved out of New York and built their corporate headquarters in this area. Not only were these individuals now living here, but they were also working here, and we could clothe them with suits and ties and so forth. The communities of Westport and the environs, it's our market area, the community's been good, the Mitchells. We should give it back. It's our duty to give back. And that was my dad. He was all those things. He was president of Rotary, got me to get into Rotary. I became president of Rotary.
got on the trusteeship of the YMCA, got involved as a deacon in our church, got involved with the Catholics in the Inner City Foundation, sitting on the Jewish Home for the Elderly in Fairfield, you know, as a non-Jew, as the first Christian on the board. Why? Because it's the right thing to do.
I could step back and I could go through the local paper. I could go through a lot of the local delis and looking who's supporting the Little League baseball teams, who's throwing a car wash for a good cause for, you know, the French club over the high school to go on a field trip somewhere. Who is being feted at all of the big fundraisers around town? Who is involved in just about every little charity event, big and small? It's the Mitchells. And I admire that more than anything.
We had some challenging times. The period between '89 and '91 when we had a recession, and then a wonderful thing happened. My wife Linda came into the business, and the women's business has grown ever since.